Islamic leaders reject Israel intervention in Nigeria insecurity situation. The Council of Imams and Ulama Kaduna State Chapter have expressed displeasure over calls from some quarters that government should seek for support of Israel in the fight against Boko Haram and bandits. The Islamic made remarks in a statement issued and signed by the Secretary General of the Council, Yusuf Yakubu Arigasiyu. The statement made available to journalists in Kaduna stated that the council strongly hold the belief that if Nigeria needs any foreign support from any country to fight Boko Haram and banditry, should do so, but not Israel. The statement added that council believes that like Boko Haram and bandits, Israel has killed thousands of innocent Palestinians, including women, children, and old, unjustly, and continue to terrorize thousands of peace-loving Palestinians in their motherland. Therefore, inviting Israel to Nigeria for whatever reasons in the name of fighting bandits is a disaster to Nigeria masses and its government. The council therefore employ government to strengthen the Nigerian Security Agency with the view to end security challenges. Okay, I don't understand what puts them in a pedestal or a moral standpoint to judge Israel, because you might even see that they might be worse than Israel, because at the end of the day, what have they done for their community and their people for the past how many years since Nigeria got its independence? The amount of people that have died from poverty and lack of shelter, like, I don't understand. Of course, a lot of comments here, and the first one here says, these Muslim clerics do not want Israeli to come and end the terrorism in Nigeria, especially Boko Haram, because they know that the aim and objective of Boko Haram is to impose Islam on Nigerians. That is why they bring Isba and other version of Boko Haram to disturb the peace of the nation. Another person here says, why we need Israel to come and destroy all our Boko Haram presidents and governors. A group of idiots. Problems of Nigeria. What inviting Israel needs to do with Islamic, because they are the sponsors of Boko Haram, bandits, kidnapping, herdsmen, and other criminal activities in our country. I mean, when you hear things like this, you'd probably think that is a bit of a theory, where you'd say, how can you say that, these people are funding and helping with banditry and terrorism? But statistically, if you look at the trends and if you look at government's response to banditry, kidnapping that is coming from the north specifically, you can see that they react in a very inefficient manner. They don't put the people that actually committed the crimes accountable, and with the signs and the obvious nepotism that goes on with the northern people being in government, and of course the president being from the north, you can see that it just doesn't make sense. Because if you're for your people and you want your people to be in power, the actual citizens, the actual average man, they're not living in good conditions. So it's like it's contradictory. It just makes you wonder what they're doing. But then again, you cannot underestimate these people, because they've been corrupt for the longest, and they have been studying the Nigerian public generation after generation, and they've been somehow, even though Nigeria is a really young country, somehow there hasn't been any sort of big revolution. Even when the big people would come out and be like, let's fight against this, it's already a divided place. So obviously whatever sort of fight that people want to fight against, banditry, terrorism, that kind of thing, people would just not get together because of tribalism and everything. Another person says, ignorance. Even Saudi Arabia has strong ties with Israel for security purposes. So who are you? Exactly. Where do you get your teaching empty heads, big heads for nothing? Absolutely true. Like, Israel, if anything, because the fact is, they're just saying, it's so vague by telling the government to strengthen their security forces, when for how many years now, 12 years running, there hasn't been any significant win, significant triumph, significant, efficient. I don't even know what the word is. They have not been able to fight these people for so long. For the fact that they have to be negotiating with these people already shows where we are. We're not meant to be negotiating with terrorists. Absolutely not. And yeah, it's like with the power that Israel has, like military. What are you to? So are you gonna provide the military that the strength that we need? Are you gonna provide the tools? Are you gonna provide the actual ammunition? Because we've been inefficient, and it just, because with the money that we have, with the resources that we do have, there is absolutely no excuse as to why Nigeria has not beaten Boko Haram. Absolutely no excuse. And of course, when you see and hear in the news that the government is negotiating with bandits and all these kind of things, it helps but further that narrative that they're being sponsored by the government. And it's not a far-fetched notion if you actually live in the country and you are very observant. Another person here says, Israel, you are welcome, and the person got a lot of likes. Another person here says, Nigeria Islamic leaders are terrorists because Israel fought with technology and it can easily detect the sponsors and enemy. Northern Islamic are terrorists themselves. I think at this point, us calling them terrorists and everything, these are really strong words, but then if you understand where Nigerians are coming from in terms of them being observant and understanding the trends over time, it is not far-fetched. At this point, Nigeria is just so divided that the educated are really a few, and educated not meaning learning how to read and write, even though yes, that also counts for it, but educated in terms of understanding the history of your country, how the country was made, your status when the country was made, and basically how you guys relate with each other. Because at the end of the day, Nigeria is a business deal, and from its inception it was already doomed to fail, because we were on our own before all these things happened. So at the end of the day, we actually don't even know, or not that we don't know, but then we have to do more research into that, because who said that all the tribes have to be together? How were relations, how was trading before Nigeria? So at the end of the day, if we want to separate, I think we have to separate. And the real reason as to why these people do not want to, it is gonna come out, because there's absolutely no reason why Nigeria should be together. If you are going to be logical and think about it, there's no reason. Like at the end of the day, if you're going to be like, people, let's come together, the fact is, for the northern part of Nigeria, it is the most populated, first of all, the least educated, and the religion is such I believe that you should practice your religion, but then the religion is such a huge factor in swaying public opinion and all that. I mean, that's the society at the end of the day. But if you're going to talk about the people that actually genuinely want to come and make Nigeria better, it's a few. And then the priorities of most Nigerians, if we're going to be realistic and go according to statistics, is to feed and survive, not necessarily bring a better Nigeria together. And of course, since these people are higher in number, how do we then take care of their needs and make them see the future of one Nigeria and have a whole rebranding? It's not going to work, except something magical happens, which I do not know. But realistically, the country should it's not really a good country that should be together. At the end of the day, it was a business deal, and that's just what it is. The people that are benefiting and the actual benefactors are benefiting, because it's the terms of agreement was on their terms. Put what you think about this in the comment section below. Do you believe that Islamic leaders have a right to reject help from Israel? Put what you think, and do not forget to like and subscribe.